Hi students, in this video we will discuss how to find the matrix of a quadratic form. The question given is, write down the matrix for the following quadratic form: 2x1 square minus 2x2 square plus 4x3 square plus 2x1 x2 minus 6x1 x3 plus 6x2 x3. The given data is quadratic form. Q equal to 2x1 square minus 2x2 square plus 4x3 square plus 2x1 x2 minus 6x1 x3 plus 6x2 x3. We have to find the matrix for the given quadratic form. The solution: the quadratic form has three variables x1, x2 and x3. Therefore, the matrix A will be of 3 by 3 order. It consists of 9 elements which are arranged in 3 rows and 3 columns. The matrix for the given quadratic form is A equal to, it will have 3 rows and 3 columns. The first row, first element is coefficient of x1 square. The second element is half of coefficient of x1, x2. The third element is half of coefficient of x1, x3. In the second row, the first element is half of coefficient of x2, x1. The second element is coefficient of x2 square. The third element is half of coefficient of x2, x3. In the third row, the first element is half of coefficient of x3, x1. The second element is half of coefficient of x3, x2. The third element is coefficient of x3 square. Now substitute the values of the coefficients of quadratic form. Q equal to 2x1 square minus 2x2 square plus 4x3 square plus 2x1 x2 minus 6x1 x3 plus 6x2 x3. Now A is equal to, the first row, first element is coefficient of x1 square. So the coefficient of x1 square is 2. So enter the value as 2. The second element is half of coefficient of x1, x2, that is half into coefficient of x1, x2 is plus 2. So it is half into 2. The third element is half of coefficient of x1, x3, that is half into coefficient of x1, x3 is minus 6. So enter minus 6. Now let us see the second row. The first element is half of coefficient of x2, x1, that is half into coefficient of x2, x1 is plus 2. Enter plus 2 here. So it is half into 2. The second element is coefficient of x2 square. The coefficient of x2 square is minus 2. So enter minus 2 here. Now coming to the third element, it is half into coefficient of x2, x3. Therefore, it is half into coefficient of x2, x3 is plus 6. So here enter 6. So it is half into 6. The third row, first element is half into coefficient of x3, x1. So it is half into coefficient of x3, x1 is minus 6. So here enter minus 6. So it is half into minus 6. The second element is half into coefficient of x3, x2. Therefore it is half into coefficient of x3, x2 is plus 6. So enter plus 6. It is half into 6. The third element is coefficient of x3 square. So the coefficient of x3 square is plus 4. So enter plus 4. Now simplify the above. We get A equal to 2. Half into 2 is 1. Half into minus 6 is minus 3. Now the second row, first element, half into 2 is 1. The second row, second element is minus 2. The third element is half into 6 is equal to 3. Now the third row, first element is half into minus 6. It is equal to minus 3. The second element is half into 6. It is equal to 3. The third element is 4. Now the matrix A found is the matrix form for the given quadratic form. Thank you.